How will tracking velocity help you get stronger? The two most common terms I hear when people refer to their gym sessions are they're either working out or they're training. Think about your own gym sessions for a minute. If someone asked you whether you were working out or training, which one would you say? Do you work out or do you train? When someone completes a session in the gym, what's their motivation behind that session? Are they working towards a measurable goal, like getting stronger in a designated lift? Or is it done for psychological well-being? Do they just feel better for being in the gym? Is it for aesthetic reasons? They just want to look better. In general, the word training is used more by people who are looking to improve performance in something measurable, like a 5K time or a 1 rep max in the bench press. And the term working out is a more process as a benefit explanation. The actual act of working out is the benefit and the method. Now, if someone says they're strength training, then they're coming to the gym in order to get stronger. It makes sense. If someone is bodybuilding, then their primary aim is to put on muscle. These are two different aims, and whilst there may be some correlation in the methods used for both, the optimal strategy for each is actually very different. My focus here is on those wanting to get stronger. What does that mean? Is the trainee looking to compete in a strength sport like powerlifting, where testing their strength is the measure of performance? Or are they looking to compete in a sport where being stronger will just help their performance within that sport? Perhaps, say, leg strength for a rugby player. A lot of people who strength train don't compete in any sport, but they're using how much weight they can lift as a proxy for the progress they're making in the gym. And the act of actually getting stronger is an end in itself. Until you answer this question, you won't be able to structure your training efficiently. Until you know why you're training, until you identify this end aim specifically. And answering this question will help you put the right structure and performance markers in place. And then that will help you see the progress that you're looking for. For example, what exercise or lift are you wanting to get stronger in? What metric are you going to use to judge your progress? You might have no interest in a 1 rep max. You might prefer an 8 rep max on the bench press. That might be your chosen metric. If you're a powerlifter, then each time you compete is a chance to test your progress. But if you only compete once or twice a year, then that leaves long periods of time without that 1 rep max benchmark that you'd be getting in competition. So what do? Do you test your 1 rep max every week to check that it's working, that the training's working? Do you test it every 2 weeks? Or is there some other performance proxy that you can use in place of a 1 rep max test? And if so, then how much efficacy or how accurately does that proxy have in predicting your 1 rep max? So if that proxy goes up, your 1 rep max is going up, how strong is that relationship between the two? Perhaps one of these proxies could be the average velocity of a 90% load. So you'd put 90% of what you think your 1 rep max is on, and now are you moving it faster than you could do 3 months ago? And if this speed is going up, does that mean your 1 rep max is going up? Does that mean that that proxy is an accurate reflection of your 1 rep max performance? Now, if you're listening to this, I'm assuming that you're interested in getting stronger. And if this is the case, then you need to know that what you're doing in the gym is beneficial and not detrimental, or at best, ineffective. We want to spend energy and effort doing things which are helping us move towards our desired outcomes and avoid or remove elements that hinder our progress. We can boil down this process of training towards a stated goal by looking at what happens in the gym as a stimulus and the result of that stimulus as the outcome. So input is training, output is result. It's a really simple equation, but it's easy to lose sight of. And it really boils down to this. If the stimulus, what you're doing in the gym, is of an appropriate nature, then there will be a positive outcome. If the stimulus is of an inappropriate nature, then the outcome will be null, so there'll be no outcome, or it'll be negative. You'll get weaker, you'll go backwards in your training. And this basic concept is really the foundation of training. We want to do what works and avoid what doesn't. And velocity is a tool which helps this process. Used properly, velocity tracking gives us real-time, objective data about what is happening to our performance. And we can measure these performance levels session by session and week by week by tracking our velocity intelligently. So let's look at how this works in a real-world context. I want to improve my 1 rep max in the bench press. Who doesn't? and I've got a competition coming up in 8 weeks' time. Now, I could test my 1 rep max every week until the competition, and that could be my measure of progress. Testing your 1 rep max every week, 8 weeks before a competition, probably isn't the best use of your time and energy. Instead, you could do 3 singles with 85%, and I'd track the speed of these singles. If you're moving the same weight faster, you've improved your force production. You've got stronger. These tiny improvements are hard to track if you're using something subjective like RPE. The increases week on week might be very small, but if you compound them, if you build them up over those 8 weeks, they could result in real gains. But tracking those small changes by RPE week to week is very difficult. Velocity tracking makes it much easier. And this is why learning to train using velocity tracking is so important to maximising your performance. I'm not saying you can't get stronger without using it. What I'm saying is that by using it, you can really maximise your effort in the gym. You'll be adding a tool to your personal arsenal, which means you can focus more on the stuff that works and you can get rid of the stuff which doesn't. By using velocity, you won't have to lift as heavy to test your strength. And this means better recovery and less injury. I'm going to give you all the information and tools that you needed to get started with velocity-based training, and this will take your results to the next level. Now, I'm not saying that using velocity is going to guarantee that you're going to break world records, but what I can say is that if you use velocity tracking intelligently and effectively, you can maximize your personal potential. And really, that's all any of us can ask for.